So today I have chosen the title, The Path of Sacrifice and Sanctity, Lessons from the Nazarite Vow. So, one pastor said, the ministration of God begins when we start to feel pain, torment, and hardships. So the Bible passage that was read about the Nazarite vow in Numbers chapter 6, verses 1 to 8, teaches us an important lesson about sacrifice and sanctity. It was a voluntary act of dedication to God, which can be said marked by abstinence, visible commitment, and a lifestyle of holiness. It is the lives of the Nazarite that can visibly reflect in us. So today let us try to reflect on how this practice speaks to our modern walking faith. And it is nothing new, but let this be a reminder in our daily lives. So what is sacrifice? Letting go for God. In Numbers chapter 6 verses 3 and 4, we see that the Nazarite was called to abstain from wine, grapes, or anything from the vine. So what does this indicate? Though the context of this text was the wilderness, as we know, but it is a voluntary act. So can we symbolize a break from worldly indulgences? If so, what is the God's for us today? So what's in it for us? Is it our time? Is it our talents? Or is it a specific area of our lives? So can we let go of our distractions and habits for abstinence? Our relationship with God is built on voluntary surrender, not obligations. Voluntary surrender, not obligations. Sacrifice remains a vital part in our theological journey. It may not involve abstaining from wine or anything or consumption, but that could mean setting aside distractions. So let us ask ourselves the critical question here. What sacrifices have I made? What sacrifices will I make? And reflect carefully towards it. Sanctity, living a set-apart life. So if we look at Numbers 6 verse 5, the uncut hair shows a visible marker towards the vow that was made to God. Evidently, do our lives visibly reflect our commitment towards our theological journey. It was a symbolic act by the Nazarite of the separation from pleasures and vanity. What are we willing to give up? What was holding us back, or are we clinging to our comfort zones and conveniences? While we may not grow out our hair as a sign, our lives should reflect our commitment. Holiness is not about being perfect or following rituals. It is about aligning our actions, words, and choices towards sanctity. So when people from our church talk about us, what will their recollection of us be? Are we just a mere students who studies in the UTC? Are we just theologians? Or should they expect an example from us? Are our actions and words reflecting sanctity? Perseverance, faithfulness in dedication. The Nazarite vow required unwavering commitment, even in the face of challenges. The path of sacrifice and sanctity demands endurance. So in verses 6 and 7, the Nazarite was forbidden to go near a corpse. These strict regulations symbolize complete dedication to God. So though this seems dishonest, the priority was to maintain undivided devotion to God. It may not be contact with death as such, but it could be negativity, unhealthy environments, or behavior that could compromise our integrity. This signifies the true devotion, self-denial. If looked at carefully, the invitation is for everyone, regardless of background, gender, or life circumstances, not to uniformity, but to authenticity. Here I would like to share a beautiful story. In the year 1981, the 20th Century Fox and Warner Brothers released an Oscar-winning movie called Chariots of Fire. You must have heard it, you must have seen it. So the movie is about Eric Liddell and Harold Abrahams, who achieved their dreams from religious convictions and determination. So I want to talk about Eric Liddell. He was a devout Christian and an athlete who would compete in the 1924 Paris Olympics. Now, mind you, his specialty was in the 100 meters, but he learned that the event of the 100 meters race was on Sunday. So he refused to run in the 100 meters race to attend Sunday worship. He faced pressures from the media and the government, and even urged him to change his stance, as he was a strong medal contender, possibly gold medal for Great Britain. But he remained resolute. Instead of competing in the 100 meters, he switched to 400 meters race, which was not his specialty. But on July 11, 1924, Eric Liddell won gold medal in the 400 meters, running with a remarkable time of 47.6 seconds, which sets the new Olympic record. As I've said, that was not his specialties. So why am I telling this story? It's because this could be a reminder that the path to deeper intimacy with God involves sacrifice, sanctity, and perseverance. While we may not take a formal vow, we must remember that we are already in the journey as students. So let us ask ourselves, as I've said, the critical questions. What areas do we need to set our lives apart? What distractions do I need to lay down? Or how can I live visibly that I am called for something greater? May God empower and bless us all. Amen.